from Louisiana, it would have been hard for me to have read the names and then to take my seat, because in New Orleans, the great thing about that, if you ever see a New Orleans funeral, there's something about that, a rebirth, a resurrection, a coming back. And so even though this administration and this country doesn't think the people are going to come back, it's time for the people to come back. And we will do that. We will fight and not forget about this process. There's a Negro spiritual that goes as follows. And I dedicate it to Noah, to this administration, and to all those who forgot those in not only New Orleans and Louisiana, but also in Mississippi. And it goes like this. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. The names on the side of me, Noah, are saying, hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. I thank God for my brother here on the side of me, Brother Ali Saladin, because a lot of times we've heard about the Christian right, but we know that it's time for the Christian right to meet the right Christians, Christians who believe in all people's will. It could be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, it could be agnostic or atheist. It's time for humanity to step forward. And so when we were there, we had to cross the bridge where people were stopped, the Crescent City Connection, on November 7th, 2005. Myself, with Brother Ali and others, we actually had to cross that bridge where people were stopped. Can you imagine when the World Trade Center came down and people were trying to evacuate from that building? Can you imagine they were leaving that process and they get into the Brooklyn Bridge and then being stopped and turned around and told to go back to the World Trade Center? Well, that is what this government did. They put dogs and policemen on the bridge. After people had not eaten for a week, had not drunk for a week, had not done anything for a week, they called them refugees, they called them looters, they were survivors, and all they wanted to do was to get to high ground. So we decided to cross that bridge on November 7th, 2005. But now it's coming up, November 7th, 2006. And so what we need now is voters, voters for peace, voters who can stand up. So on that day, we will cross that bridge as voters for peace, as voters for justice, to say that enough is enough. All the cronies, all those with their handouts, all those who got no big contracts, it's time for you to go. And the reason that I said November 7th, 2006, with Voters for Peace, it was around the issue that half the National Guard that could have been there to save the people was in Iraq. And so we stopped fighting these unjust, illegal wars and bring the troops home now so they can do the work for the people in this country. We can be okay. Let me close by this, because I got to say this. This week we celebrate two anniversaries. August 29th, the one-year anniversary of Katrina. August 27th, 1996, the 10-year anniversary of welfare reform. There has been a war on the poor for a long time. It is time for this to stop. But something happened right here in D.C. on August 28th, 1963. Another preacher, just like me, stood not too far away and said, I have a dream that one day black babies and white babies can come together and stand together. But on the second part of that speech, he said that every time that black people come to this government with a check, that check comes back insufficient funds. It's time to cash the check for Katrina. It's time to make right by those people on the Gulf Coast. And so I say this, as we close this part, Al Gore said our inconvenient truth. He said if we don't get our ways correct, 10 years from now, we won't have anything. There won't be no New Orleans, no St. Louis, no Washington, D.C. We've got to know that you've got to figure out that if man fights Earth, Earth fights back. If man fights Earth, Earth fights back. Man fights Earth, Earth fights back. Man fights Earth, Earth fights back. We can do it. We will do it. We will bring justice for these survivors all around the world. God bless you. God bless you.